Hello everyone, I am Aries from Synergy Notes. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today I am going to install and configure Validator node for Axelar Casablanca Testnet. We have compiled all the necessary steps for this process and uploaded the file to our GitHub account. I will include all the important links along with our GitHub link in the description down below. Let's get started. Now let's log into the server. As you can see, we have installed Ubuntu 20.04 on the server. We have logged into our server as root user. Now let's install UFW firewall and configure the firewall. Just follow the steps one by one. Now install UFW firewall. Deny all incoming. Allow all outgoing traffic. Allow SSH port. Allow the port 26656 which is needed for the validator node, and enable the firewall. It is always recommended to run a validator node using a user and not as root. Hence, we will create a user called node using the command add user. Give a password, retype the new password. You can give all the information that you need, or you can just keep pressing enter, and the username node is created now. Now add the username to sudo as. Then log in to the user using this command. Now we have logged into the user node. I forgot to enable the port 50051, so let's enable that. UFW allow 50051 and reload UFW firewall settings. Okay, login back to the user. Now let's install all the prerequisites needed for the validator node. Just copy paste the commands one by one. Now let's install Go. Although it is not mentioned in the official documents to install Go, it is always better to install Go package. Let's update the environment variables to include Go. And now let's check Go version. Okay, now we are ready to install Axelar Casablanca Testnet validator node. Now let's clone Accelerate Community GitHub repo. CD into the directory. Now run this command to install Casablanca Testnet node. This testnet 2 refers to Casablanca Testnet. Just say yes. Now if you get this error message, just run the command ulimit, copy this command and execute it. And now execute the command again. Say yes. Okay, the binaries have been downloaded. Now let's get back to the home folder. Now let's copy the binary to user bin folder using the following command. Now let's check the version of XLRD. So far so good. Let's continue. We also have to download Tofnd binary and move it to user bin folder. To do so, follow the steps one by one. Tofnd binary has been downloaded. Now let's rename this to Tofnd and make it executable, and move Tofnd to user bin folder. Okay, this is done. Thanks to one of our community member BitZN, we have a snapshot for Axelar Casablanca Testnet. We have included the URL in description down below. Just go to this website bitzn.com/snapshots.html, then go to testnet, and Axelar Casablanca. Click on wget, copy this command, go back to terminal and execute the command. It will take a few seconds for the snapshot to be downloaded. Okay, the snapshot is downloaded now. Let's execute the command ls-la. You'll find this folder Axelar Testnet 2. This is where all your important files reside for Axelar Casablanca Testnet Validator node. Let's create a directory called data inside Axelar Testnet 2 folder. Now let's move Axelar tar into the data folder present in .axelar testnet 2 folder. Let's change directory to the data folder and unzip this axelar.tar using the command tar -xvf axelar.tar. Okay, now the files are unzipped. Let's change directory to user home folder. Now let's start the node using the following command. Here, this is the moniker name. You can give whatever the name that you need. For testing purpose, we are providing the moniker name as test node. You have to always provide the home directory over here and press enter. As you can see, the blockchain has started to sync. Let's wait till the sync is completed. I'll stop the video right now over here and get back after the blockchain is completely synced. Okay, as you can see, the blockchain is completely synced now. While this is running, open a new terminal, log into the server again from the new terminal window. Change the user to your user that was created. In our case, it is node. Now let's create the wallets that are required. We need two separate wallets. One is used for broadcaster, one is used for validator. Let's create one by one using the following commands. First, I am creating the broadcaster wallet. I am retype the password. Make sure to copy paste all this information into a text file and store it in a safe location. This is the mnemonic key for this wallet address. Now let's create wallet for the validator. Again, copy paste this entire information into a text file and save it in a safe location. Again, here too, this is the mnemonic key for this wallet address. Once you have done this, you have to create a key for Tfnd service also. So now let's change directory to Axelar Casablanca Testnet folder. Create a directory called Tfnd. Get back to the home folder. Execute the following command to create the key for Tfnd. Give a password. In this case, I will give the password as TEST1234. Okay, the mnemonic key and the necessary files for Tfnd has been created and are stored in this Tfnd folder. Let's change directory to that folder. Here you see the necessary files. Just display the contents of export file using cat export and copy this 24 words. This is the mnemonic key for your Tfnd service and save it in a safe location. Okay. By doing this, we have created all the necessary files for all the three services under this folder. Now let's go back to the previous window and exit the blockchain using the command Ctrl+C. Let's set all the global variables one by one. Here we are setting the global variable for our chain ID as Axelar Testnet Casablanca 1. Here we are setting variable for moniker. In this case, I will say test node. Here we are setting the value for validator operator address. Give the password. Here we are setting the broadcaster address. Give the password. Here we are exporting those addresses to .profile file. Broadcaster address also. And now if you can display the contents of .profile, you'll find all the information over here. Moniker name, chain ID, validator operator address, broadcaster address. Now let's set the source to this .profile file. Now let's create all the necessary systemd unit service files to run this node in the background. Let's change the directory to this. Then create a file called axelar.d.service. Copy paste the contents from the GitHub page. Here change the user to the user that you have created. In our case it is node. Change the moniker name to whatever the name that you desire over here, and change the user over here to node. That's it. Save the file. Now let's create the vault service. Just copy paste the content from our GitHub page. Change the user to your user. In our case it is node. Give the password over here. In our case it is test1234. Then validator address. You have to give the validator address over here. You have the validator address and everything stored in the file .profile. Copy paste this address over from here to over here, and then chain ID is correct, and we have to change the user over here. In our case it is node, and that's it. Save the file and exit. Now let's create the service Tofnd. Copy paste the content from our GitHub page. Change the user to your user. In our case it is node. Give the password over here. This is the password that is created for Tofnd service. In our case it is again test1234. Change the user over here. In our case it is node, and that's it. Save the file. Okay, we have created all the necessary services. Now reload the daemons. Enable the services one by one. Now we have to start the services one by one. Execute the following commands to do so. To check if everything is working fine, use the following commands one by one. First one, we are checking whether Axelar is running. Yep, it's running. Press Ctrl C to exit from here. Now let's check if VALD service is running fine. Okay, now let's exit from here using Ctrl C. Let's check if Tofnd service is running fine. Exit from here by pressing Ctrl C. Now let's get Axelar tokens from Casablanca Faucet. To do so, go to this Faucet website, get some Axelar tokens for your broadcaster wallet address. Also get some Axelar tokens for your validator wallet address. To check if you have got the tokens, you can execute the following command. Please change this address to the desired address. This is our broadcaster wallet address. As you can see, we have 6 Axelar tokens for broadcaster address, and now we are checking for validator address. Again, we have 6 Axelar tokens for validator address also. Now let's register broadcaster proxy for our node. To do so, copy paste the following command. Give the password. In our case, it is test1234. Okay, we have registered a broadcaster proxy for our node. Now next is to create validator account and register the validator node. First, copy the create validator command from our GitHub page onto a text file. Change the necessary information in this command. Here you need to change it to the username that you have created. In our case, it is node. Here you have to pass the necessary XLR token amount. In our case, we are passing 5 XLR tokens. Change this to the moniker name that you desire to use. If you have a website, enter the website URL over here. If you want, you can provide some details over here for your validator node. Next 3 lines are related to commission rate. This is the initial commission rate that is set to 1%. This is the max commission rate that you can ever charge. In this case, we have set it to 10%. And this is the max commission rate that you can change every 24 hours. We have set it to 1%. That means you can change from 1 to 2% today, and you cannot change it again for the next 24 hours. After that, you can change from 2 to 3% and so on. But there should be a gap of 24 hours in between. Then here too, you have to change to the username. In our case, it is node. This is from our validator wallet address, and identity is the keybase ID. For people who does not know about keybase ID, they can go to keybase.io and register an account. Here we have created a test account and generated a key and copy pasted this key over here in this command. Give the chain ID. You can directly pass the chain ID over here, or else you can give this variable which you have registered and present in .profile file, and we have to pass some gas to get this transaction go through. To make it simple, let's change this to the actual chain. Okay, the command looks to be good. Let's copy paste this command and see if it works. Enter, give the password. In our case, it is test1234. Enter. Yep, the transaction went through. Let's see the status of the node. And as you can see, the voting power is 5. Let's open the Explorer for Casablanca. This is a community run testnet Explorer for Casablanca. Click on Axelar Testnet 2 and go to staking. Hopefully we can find our node over here online already. Okay, as you can see over here, our node is live and it is working fine. Now let's do a health check for our node. Before doing that, let's restart all the services. Just copy paste the commands present in our GitHub page. Okay, it's done. Now let's do a health check on our node using the following command. If you see passed for all these 3, that means there is no issues with the node. Next step is to register as chain maintainers for EVM chains such as Ethereum. For now, Casablanca Testnet supports Ethereum and Avalanche. You can install and run your own nodes for Ethereum and Avalanche, or you can use APIs from third-party services such as GetBlock, Infura, QuickNodes, Alchemy. Here I am going to use APIs from GetBlock. I have already registered with GetBlock. This is a test account. Just go to getblock.io, create an account. Once you register and log in, you will get to this page. Now we'll get back to GetBlock a little while from now. Let's get back to the terminal. Now we have to edit the config.tyml file to include these APIs in that file. To do so, change directory to Axelar testnet 2, then cd into config folder, edit the file config.tyml using nano command. Just scroll down almost to the end and you will see this section, Axelar bridge EVM. For each EVM chain, these are the settings that are included over here. We just have to enable these settings and add our RPC address over here. So for Ethereum, let's go back to get block, click on production and generate endpoint, select Ethereum, select Robston testnet and click create. Copy this URL and paste it over here and change this to true. In the same way, go back to get block, click on generate endpoint, select avalanche, select testnet over here and click on create, copy this and paste it over here, change this to true. Save the file and exit. Now let's restart all the services again. Next we have to execute the following command to register as chain maintainers. Just copy paste the command and press enter. Give the password. In this case it is test1234. Yep, the transaction went through. Let's display the contents of .profile file to know our validator address. This is our validator address. To know if you have registered as a maintainer properly for Ethereum, just execute the following command. Just make sure that you change this to the username. Press enter. You will get all the list of the validator addresses that are registered for Ethereum EVM chain. As you can see, the validator node is present over here. In the same way, this is for Avalanche. In the same way, you can do it for Ethereum also. And you can see the validator address is present over here. Now let's take a backup of all the important files that is related to the node. Let's change directory to the testnet folder, cd into config folder, and now you have to take a backup of node_key.json file, prev_validator_key.json file from config folder, then go to data folder, take a backup of prev_validator_state.json file from this folder. Again, node_key.json file and prev_validator_key.json file present in config folder, and prev_validator_state.json file present in data folder. Download these three files and store it in a safe location. If there is any issues with the server and you need to switch to a new server, all you have to do is follow the whole procedure in this video. Just replace these files in these locations and restart the node, and this will restore your node with the same validator name and address. If you have followed all the steps properly and if your node is live, you should be able to see the node present in the community run explorer over here under staking. If you are able to see your node over here, that means your node is live and it is working properly. I hope this video helps you to create Axelar Casablanca Testnet node and register as a validator. If you find this video useful and informative, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. That's it. You have a great day. Bye bye.